Hello and welcome to the Mega Blood Moon podcast. This week the boys are tackling a prison break drama. Not like the TV show, or at least not enough that we could ever get sued by Fox. I think Fox put that one out. It was like around the time of Lost. You guys remember it. Early 2000s, man has a bunch of prison tattoos all over his body so he can break out. Good times. This is nothing like that. Enjoy the movie.
The rules are simple, and there are only 4 of them. Number 1, your script must be 70 to 90 pages long. No more, no less. Number 2, the minute you type the end, you are done. You get 1 draft. So, don't take it too seriously. Number 3, your budget is whatever you have in your pockets currently. So, write accordingly. And number 4, the moon must explode in some form or fashion at some point during the movie.
Welcome back.
Did you miss us?
We missed you.
I hope so.
We think about you at night. Our
I don't.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Not at
kept
night.
you waiting, huh?
I usually think about y'all in the morning.
Get up. Look at the sun. Ugh. We're back with another. You know the drill. I'm gonna roll the dice.
Big stupid party.
You know the drill. I'm gonna roll the dice. We're gonna figure out what we're gonna do.
How many sided die is it now?
It is. Someone added more, so it is a 43-sided die.
43-6 will be our blank slate.
Yes.
No, so you could just roll a 42-sided die.
Right? Unless there's.
Well, don't we want to do that? A blank slate is just either me or someone has to just on the spot come up with one.
Yeah, blank
fair
slate is
enough.
we just start from scratch.
Yeah.
From scratch.
No idea. Cannot use what we have.
All right, here goes the roll. Here comes the roll.
Papa needs a new pair of shoes.
Number 16.
16. I don't think that's me.
CB7. The moon explodes. The inhabitants of a prison have to figure out a way to escape as the debris from the moon gets closer and closer.
Certainly
Okay,
not
that is me.
mine. There was a whole sentence written there, and I don't generally write the sentences.
No,
there.
you just write titles.
Yeah,
I
you
write
just
titles because I keep the rest of it filed away in case I want to change it because we do something like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I guess I overcommit early. I don't know.
I mean,
No, I think it's a perfectly valid way of approaching it. If anything, I'm the weird one.
yeah, Zach, I was gonna say I spark notes like half the plot.
I think it helps. I mean, if maybe it is a little more freeing if it's just the title, but
14
I appreciate all the methods. I appreciate everything we do here. You guys are the best.
just above yours. One of
Why
mine.
are you talking like a
Fucking
politician
MBM
now?
compound interest of the Geist Mortis. A Beanie Baby
No, hold on,
collector
hold on.
uncovers a hidden message about the end of the world. Yeah, we do
Yeah,
the same
yeah,
thing.
There you go.
Zach started talking like he was running for alderman there for a second.
Tony,
Sorry.
he is. Don't interrupt the campaign. You
Alderman of the Church of the Mega Blood
you
Moon.
can't fault the alderman.
Ben, when do we start our
That's-
501c
Ooh.
of the Church of the Mega
I've
Blood
been trying to get him to start 501c3s and 4s for years now.
Moon?
Yeah, he has.
All right, you know what we do is we buy that Buddhist compound across from your old place in Highland Park, and then start
Now
sacrificing.
hold on. You're hold on. No. For a second, just walk me through this. So it's a Buddhist compound, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they owned it.
Yeah.
So I understand the renunciation of
No,
material
I see
possessions.
where you're going with this.
So
Mm-hmm.
I made that point too a
Mhm.
couple times.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I immediately thought of the. I mean, it was a very California thing to see.
I'm just trying to figure out if they have a loophole where they're like, technically nobody owns the land, so It's fine.
No, I think it's technically we own the land, so we don't pay taxes.
A mortgage is really more of a
Interesting.
spiritual interest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I really, these are people I would love to have a conversation about their logistics right now with. Like,
Yeah, I don't know how that's working
Look,
right
if you
now.
guys want to start a 5013C, go for it. I got the rest of the company to run.
And how much easier would it be to run that company if you had gray money coming in at all times?
That's what I'm saying. You guys started. I don't want to deal with
legally laundered through the beauty of U.S. campaign finance laws, which means Zach, you gotta run for alderman.
Zach, you gotta run for alderman.
Here we go.
Tony's the head of the church. Zach's the alderman.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here today. I will be running for.
Does Los Angeles have aldermen? It must, right?
There's a lot of older men. I don't know about aldermen.
Hit.
Sorry, this is real bad.
It's fucking go to outside go to the pickup at any acting class, and you'll see a bunch of kids getting picked up by their sugar daddies.
Not wrong. Not wrong.
Apparently, Los Angeles doesn't have aldermen, so that means you'll be running uncontested.
Incumbent alderman.
First inaugural alderman.
And you just whenever Gavin Newsom talks, you just splash him with the scepter of holy water.
Perfect.
Why is that holy water red? It's O positive.
Keep splashing. Also, I mixed some Mad Dog 2020 raspberry flavored in here.
Oh, that's so. Haven't thought about that flavor in a long time. It's awful.
Isn't it breadfruit?
Is it?
Breadfruit Mad Dog?
I always treated them like Gatorade. Like you never go off the actual flavor, you
like
just
Gatorade.
go off the color and guess what the
breadfruit. I feel like breadfruit is not a common flavor.
Oh no, it's dragon fruit. Sorry, I knew
that makes more sense to me. I was like, who's eating breadfruit?
I knew it was an exotic.
It's good. I like breadfruit, but it's just not a common Western
thing. I don't think I've ever had breadfruit.
Breadfruit is dope. You know what's also dope, but smells like you're gonna shoot yourself? Durian.
Yeah. Yep.
Durian tastes fantastic. Durian tastes like fucking juicy fruit gum if you could eat it, but it smells like you just murdered somebody 3 weeks ago and put them in front of a fan.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah. I've had durian. I've had durian ice cream. I've had it's a common thing in the tropics. So my Hawaiian family and then the Filipino family from Greece are big on that.
Hawaii is where I first had durian, and I was like, y'all almost didn't have me, but then I tasted it, and I was like, nah, it tastes mostly like juicy fruit.
Y'all had me goofed on the first half, but on the second half, you hooked me in.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like, if you just plug your nose, it's delicious, but it's tough to get to your mouth without being like, ugh.
Yeah. All right, well, fun topics. All right, Ben.
Great stuff.
Let's drag ourselves back on track. What was the name of this
one? Hey guys, good to be back in the conversation. What was it? CB7?
Yes, it's Cell Block 7.
I didn't use this as an excuse to check some eBay listings.
How them cards going?
Cell Block 7. Sorry, Zach, can't hear you over all this noise of reading. Mega Blood Moon, Cell Block 7. The moon explodes. The inhabitants of a prison have to figure out a way to escape as the debris from the moon gets closer and closer.
Now, hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
What if the prison's on a different moon?
We
take the plot of Escape to New York from New York.
Well, that's
LA, and we smash them together.
I was gonna say it's hilarious that we got this one because that is there is actually one that is closer to the plot of Lockdown, but this is pretty close.
Well, I was gonna say on the you're just jumping from the moon prison. What if it's a satellite prison or like a space station prison, and then the moon explodes because then it's way closer and also in space next to it.
True. My idea was more of like a prison now, like a very modern, just like the power goes out, none of the doors will open, no one can get out, and the debris is just coming towards them, so they're all trapped inside this prison trying to figure out a way to exit. But the space idea is fun if we do want to lean more into the lockout thing. But I think I have one that is close to a prison on the moon.
I mean, let's just go with the prison on the ground then.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, honestly, like my idea was, it felt more like Green Miley or Shawshanky. I'll stop listing Stephen King things, but
The Last Castle.
I don't know.
The Stand.
Oh, you haven't seen The Last Castle? It's not Stephen King, but it's a very good prison.
The Wolves of
okay.
the Kala.
Speaking of which, number 43 is going to be a lot of fun.
Wolves of the Kala. A Blood Moon story.
Stephen King's
right,
The Dark Tower, a Mega Blood Moon story.
I think that's one of the ones he charges money for. He's got the freebies, but I'm pretty sure he charges for the Dark Tower. Not that much, having seen the most recent Dark Tower adaptation, but he does charge money.
But he does charge.
He will. We'll see. Continuing.
All right, so we have, how many prisoners do you want to be the main focus?
Yeah, I was gonna say our first walk-in should be establishing who our, I don't know, 4 or 5 main prisoners are.
Yeah, I would say 8 max. I was just thinking of like a wing, like one hallway. So maybe it's 3 cells on each side. One person
6
per cell? Or maybe it's 2 people per cell? I don't know.
Yeah, one person per
I don't
cell.
think we need to stick too hard
Yeah.
to the rules of
they're in a
modern
Supermax
prisons.
wing.
I think we
go
can just say that it's a
15 people now.
prisoner in a prison cell.
All right, now second question. Are we referring to them by their names, their nicknames, or their prison numbers?
There should be a mysterious one. I think we can have a mix, because there can be a mysterious one who is just referred to as number, a couple with nicknames, and then maybe like a fresh one, a new meat with a regular name.
I mean, I wonder. My first thought was crimes, what they were in for, their paperwork, something like that. But
What's on their jacket? Not bad. Not bad at all. So you have like B&E.
yeah, they're just listed by their crimes.
Yeah.
Like
vehicular manslaughter.
yeah. Aggravated assault. There's
Arson.
there's petty theft. There's arson. There's
armed robbery. Armed robbery is a cool guy.
Armed robbery. Yeah. There's the cannibal. No.
Yeah. I think they could just call it armed robbery arms.
One guy's just called Energizer because the amount of battery he's committed. No.
It's
Meth
good.
Dan.
There's one man just called Possession. Possession with intent.
Yeah. We call him Poi. We call him Poi.
Hey, yo, ID. What's his name stand for? Intent to distribute.
Intent to distribute.
Pwid. Call that man a Pwid.
Hey, yo, Pwid.
I don't know. I don't really care. I thought that was funny, but we could do the names, numbers, or a mix of all the things.
I like Pwid. I like
Yeah,
Pwid a
Pwid's
lot.
great. I do like the crimes because I've never seen a like a jail show or like a prison thing where they go by the crimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have B&E, arms for armed robbery, Pwid, AA for aggravated assault. I think we should have VM in there.
You could do that. I mean, I thought about maybe one of them is suspected pedophile, and the other ones don't like him, but that usually doesn't end well, and it
They
ends
keep
quickly.
shoving him in first to any dangerous situation. They use him as a body
Yeah, he's
shield.
just the human shield.
And the entire movie, he's just getting the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah, it's basically aggravated assault, just holding him by the collar the entire time.
Yeah, so they call him questions because he won't admit to what's on his jacket.
They call him NC-17.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he's just called Solitary. He's just the guy that let
yeah.
out of solitaire at the end of the hall, and they don't know what he's in for.
Yeah. Call him Solo.
So B&E, Pwid,
Solitaire.
aggravated assault, solitary. What were the other two?
We need Murder 1.
Ah, Murder 1 and Murder 2. Shit, they're brothers. Instead of a redemption thing where it shows that we're supposed to like them because all of these crimes they didn't actually commit, they were framed for. It was like an extenuating circumstance, except for Solitary because he is a pedophile. There's none of that. It's just no, I killed him. We gotta leave the prison.
Oh yeah, I did it, but
yeah.
I'm out.
What about your brother? Well, he took the deal.
Oh, he turned me in, but he's
We each made a plea deal against the others, so they sent us both away. So,
apparently we're both stool bitches.
No harm, no foul, You guys share a cell. Is one of you a bitch? I decline to answer that comment.
We're all about equality.
Everyone? Yucky. And then the one security guard that teams up with them, gorgeous Jared.
What?
Or he's the security guard and he's delectably handsome. They call him Gorgeous Jared. And he dies 2 minutes after he's introduced. And they all go, not Gorgeous Jared. He slipped us drugs when the other guards weren't looking. And he's just getting stomped to death by, I assume, a moonrock monster.
I love it. Monster? I didn't picture monsters in it, but I find it interesting.
And that's the only time we see the moonrock monster.
What the fuck was that?
What the fuck was that? Looked like some kind of moonrock monster.
No, that'd be kind of fun though. Like, as the debris is falling, there's rocks hit, and then out of them come
Cloverfields. I gotcha.
Cloverfields, or even my thought was more Attack the Block. Something similar.
Right.
So not Transformers.
No.
Where the moon rock hits and then it goes, arr, arr, but it doesn't change into like a car. It's just more rocks, but in a person shape.
No,
what's the one where Tim Allen has to fight a rock monster?
Galaxy Quest, yeah. So good.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I imagined was killing Gorgeous Jared.
Alright, so Moon explodes. We're gonna put Monster Rocks, I guess, down. Monster Rocks.
Is Galaxy Quest not the Buzz Lightyear movie? I mean, honestly.
No, it's the best Star Trek movie ever made.
Also true.
Yeah, but you're right. It is now that I think about it, it is the Buzz Lightyear movie.
Maybe
didn't they end up doing that?
Yeah, they made a.
There's an animated movie. There's a show. There's a couple different things.
Man, why?
People like Buzz. I don't know.
Fair enough. Children like Buzz. Men enjoy.
Men like Woodies.
Buzz is for boys. Woody is for man.
All right. So we introduce all of the characters.
Here I am over in the Mr. Potato Head kink dungeon.
And you will say that. Don't think you're getting let out.
Do you know what you can do with a slinky dog?
And Ben, do you know how far that restraining order you have from the state of Rhode Island is? Because I can tell you there's a reason why you're still on the West
tell
Coast.
you, getting through New Mexico ain't something in your future, bud.
Yeah.
the Slinky Dog asexual labor camp.
R.I.P. Jim Varney.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't deserve it.
I keep forgetting he's in Toy Story.
He's Slinky
Yeah.
Dog.
Yeah. Rest in peace. The OG Slinky Dog.
Oh yeah, dude, I wonder who the new voice of Slinky Dog is. Is it the guy who played Vern?
No, it was
It's like-
do you remember Boy Meets World?
Yeah.
Do you remember Sean's dad? He's also the farmer in Waterboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Okay, they got him?
I
Alright.
think he was the one. And then I think eventually, no, maybe not. Maybe Dan, Larry the Cable Guy. He's maybe he's in Cars. I thought maybe he did something as Slinky Dog, but I could be wrong.
That makes sense. They got him on lock.
Yeah.
People love Cars.
They did. They do. Kids do. All that shit. Yeah. It was a fun movie. But speaking of movies, so this guard, Handsome Jared, dies.
Gorgeous Jared, thank you.
Gorgeous. My bad.
He's not just handsome, he's gorgeous.
Well, so we introduce everybody and then the moon explodes, right? So are they all in the yard? They look up and they see the fucking
Yeah, I
moon
think
explode?
we show a couple
Is
of
that what
them
we're talking
having
about?
problems with each other in the yard, and then they get brought back into their cells. Maybe it's just them who are brought back in from the yard, and everyone else is outside. Then the moon explodes, and they're the only ones on their cell block.
I think they're outside in the yard, and the main character is cornered, and he's about to be killed by one of the gangs, and then the moon explodes, and the alarm goes off, and they have to run back inside. Thoughts? What do you think?
Either way, they gotta
too
end
prison-y?
back up in their cell.
Yeah, no, they have to go back in the
Yeah.
cell. Do they see it happen, or is it just
I think maybe it's
they
it's
just
as
hear
they're
it?
getting-
They get sent
Yeah,
back to
like-
their cells. They don't know what's happening, and then they hear whispers or whatever. Gorgeous Jared is telling them updates.
That could be it. Is that the power
I
cuts
think-
out first,
Oh,
and then they're sent back
Yeah,
to
the
their
power
cells.
cuts it. Okay.
Then they start hearing the rumors or whispers, or gorgeous Jared says something in passing, and they're like, "What do you mean? What's going on?" And then one of them's like, "Look out your cell window." And they all look, and the moon blows up. They're like, "We gotta leave."
yeah, so you could even do it like, so you introduce everybody, they get in a fight in the yard, that's why they're getting dragged back to their cells. As they're getting put in their cells, one of them looks out the window and the moon explodes.
Well, maybe they get put back in their cells. Then the power goes out. They don't know what's going on. Maybe it was a big enough fight in the yard. Maybe there's more prisoners in the yard for the one scene, so that way when they go back, they think it's like riot, or they think that something
Yeah.
else has happened.
Yep,
And
100% I like that.
they're calling to each other, talking to each other, cell to cell, and then Gorgeous Jared comes in and informs them that there's something going on bigger than that.
Hey, guys, it's not a riot. What is it? The
All
moon
right, you're not
exploded.
talking gorgeous enough. Zach, can you talk? Can you do Gorgeous Jared's voice?
It seems there's some sort of astrological
It's
phenomenon.
just handsome. It's not gorgeous.
No, I'm sorry, I can't do it.
No, it's like you haven't volunteered to voice your gorgeous character.
Me? I would never
Yeah.
disrespect the name.
Give your
I know
give-
I can't do it.
Come on, Ben, give us Gorgeous.
Hey guys, everything's going wrong outside.
Oh, so it's ironic. It's like Tony or Tiny for a big guy, or
no, he's
John.
absolutely stunning, and then he speaks, and you're like,
oh,
Kermit.
okay. It's got a Bobcat Goldthwait thing going.
Yeah, except Bobcat Goldthwait isn't gorgeous.
So true.
Like if we
Yeah,
could
he
like
fit that
get
voice.
like a Dior
He definitely
model
looked like that
to
voice.
be the character, and then just yeah, guys, I don't think it's just a riot, guys. Something else is going on.
No one would be upset about that at all.
Thanks, gorgeous. Yeah, no problem.
It's Barney from The Simpsons. You got it. No,
You got it.
I'm not very good at that. Yeah,
It begins. It's non-alcoholic champagne.
And then when the rock monster comes in, he just says, "Oh no, I'm dying," and then he dies.
My thought was, I kind of just want to see him like talking to them, and then a moon rock comes through the window and just takes his head off completely.
Yeah, that works.
And then maybe that thing turns into a monster, but I just want him to be like, very like sympathetically talking to these guys, and like, I'm sorry I can't let you out. I want to. Blah blah blah. Pink mist.
Listen, guys, I'd love to let you out, but extenuating circumstances really prevent me.
Yeah, Moonrock takes his head off and then bashes into one of the cell doors so the first guy can get out. He grabs the keys, unlocks them for the rest of them.
And they all have a small moment for
boom.
Gorgeous Jared.
Yeah.
Gorgeous Jared, gorgeous no more.
Window.
Now we gotta call him Caved In Face Jared. Goodbye, Caved In Face Jared.
He looks even more like Fabio.
Somehow he's just as pretty with his entire face made into a puddle.
You've been inside for too long.
Yeah. Kisses Gorgeous Jared's neck and runs away.
I just want what I can.
Again, the Lord has deemed fit that a light be snuffed from my life.
I like it.
There's something. Oh man, this is reminding me all of something. I can't remember what the fuck it is. It's on like the edge of my memory.
Mega Blood Moon, the edge of memory.
It's a found footage movie of just any one of the three of us in our living room looking around cluelessly being like, I know there's something. What
did I come in here for? What did I
Look down, it's just like a statuette in your hand. What the fuck was I doing?
What I came in here for the where did that thing I had in my hand go?
It's me in my house looking around. You come to my house and you're like, hey, did you do that thing? What thing?
The thing we talked about, a thing that you were supposed to do.
Cut to dash cam footage of us arriving in Rochester. Tony, huh? Fuck. And then it's just three of us sitting silently in Tony's house for an hour and a half.
Punisher at the end. I got there. I figured it out.
Wait,
Punisher at the end. Oh yeah, that's what it is. Because he's locked up. The nukes hit. He breaks out of the cell. They find out there's a fallout shelter in the bottom of the prison. They go down there, and then after time has passed, they go to New York City and they kill all of the elites who are hiding in a super bunker that one of the dudes who was in the prison built. And that's why he was in the prison. I remembered it. That's what was bothering me. I apologize for that.
Oh,
well, we found out the end of the other movie. That's the end of the one where we can't remember anything. Is Tony just says all of that, and we go, oh. Yeah. And then,
but I think there being a fallout shelter under the prison is a good idea that we could
either a fallout shelter or that kind of works the cleanest. That gives them like the perfect thing to get towards.
No, I love the fallout shelter. I love the idea of that.
So that they have to get out of the prison just to give it a bit more, give it a bit more lateral motion. It's not under the prison itself, but it is under like the overseer's building, like the overseer's mansion.
Yeah, it's on the grounds.
Yeah, maybe it's on the grounds, or maybe at some point another. It was like used as an escape, like someone dug a tunnel to it, something like that.
That could be part of it. Is that they hear a legend that there is a tunnel.
Yeah. They have to get down into the sewers or
the sub-basement
tunnels or some shit like that. Yeah.
The abandoned insane asylum that's under the prison.
Like, why did I bother looking up who wrote Punisher at the end? I knew it was going to be fucking Garth Ennis before I was finished typing it. Sorry.
They descend to the Indian burial ground underneath.
They go down a bunch of stairs and then they just walk in stage left to a cemetery.
Yeah, it looks like Reptiles place from Mortal Kombat. It's just like all these stacked body things.
Walk in down the stairs, walk out of a mausoleum outside. All right, we're under the prison.
Exactly. Oh, it's down the trash chute. They go down the trash chute and then
either down the trash chute.
Well,
because I think yes, having the tunnel be a rumor and then they have to go to the basement of the prison. I think the tunnel should be fake. That shouldn't be real. So then they have to get out of that situation and go to the actual place, so that we have a downward and then an over. And that should give us enough time to build some tension between the two and put some conflicts in place. So that by the time they get to the overseer or the warden, his place, then we can have a standoff with what's left of the prison guard, or maybe the prisoners have taken over, and then they need to get their way through there to the fallout shelter.
okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm just getting very behind on my notes, and I'm trying to keep up here.
You're under the gun.
So Zach, don't forget to include the part about the snake pit.
Snake pit. All right. So the last thing I have is Jared comes back and gets hit with a rock.
Yeah, snake pit. Let's go.
Does he tell them about the tunnel? No, it's like a legend.
I think maybe they catch someone else trying to escape from outside, because that'll help it bring the severity of what's happening outside into them.
Maybe they break Solo out and he tells them about it.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they get the keys after Jared gets his head taken off.
Yeah.
And breaks open one of their doors.
They're discussing what they want to do, and then they hear like a ominous pounding from a door
like
at the
back of the
little
whisper of like
hallway.
Yeah.
I know how to get us all to safety.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And since he's been in solitary and moved around so much, he's heard the whispering from the guards and kind of can piece together where this rumored tunnel is.
Yeah, he's just been there a long time.
You gotta go down the laundry shaft. What? The trash chute.
Didn't Thumbs get stuck in there last year trying to escape?
Did he? I've been in solitary. I don't actually know a lot about what goes on up here.
Ooh, the fuck
I
is
didn't know
Thumbs
Thumbs though. He was a cool. Complete opposite.
I've been in solitary since '76.
Whoa!
Maybe we shouldn't let you out.
You might.
It's too late now.
It's
You already opened
It's
the
too
door.
late now.
Shit.
It starts trying to move.
The warden literally swallowed the key.
Why were you in here for so long?
Don't worry about that.
I mean, that would be a
Awesome.
good twist as he keeps revealing information on how to get to the tunnel. They keep being like, how long have you been in here? What did you do to keep you in here this long?
No, you can't go that way. They boarded it up after the riots in '86.
He is a moon monster.
He's a moon pedophile.
Jesus.
He's a pedophile from the moon.
Oh, okay. That, I was going to have questions on what that exactly meant, but then you got it out for me. But that would imply a whole moon civilization.
Of potential moon pedophiles.
So he knows a lot about the prison.
Lock up your sons. There's no age of consent on Catholic moon base.
All right, so I guess we have to decide, are there going to be moon monsters or not? Because that's going to change how this story goes.
I think it would be
does
simpler
change how
if
that-
we didn't have moon monsters. I
Agreed.
genuinely think that having the moon rock take off Gorgeous Jared's head right at the beginning gives us that nice bit of explanation. There can also be, on their way to Solo's solitary cell, more things like that happening.
Yeah, more things like that happening. I figured there's a fire that they try to put out. I figured there's, some immediate danger
Like immediate danger, or
on
it
their way
could
through. Also, just a locked gate, something that they can't get past, that they have to try and figure out how to get through.
because it could just
Like there's a
be
key
something
broken
like
off
a
in
moon
it, or
rock
there's
breaks
probably...
down part of a prison wall, and they see people outside being like, "Come on, we can get out through here," and then a huge moon rock just obliterates a crowd, and they're like, "All right, we're staying in here for a bit. Let's find this tunnel so that we don't get killed."
Yeah, they got to use like fucking benches to get leverage on a cell door, or not around like not a cell door, but like a door in between. Fucking, what do they call those things? Units,
Blocks.
wings, I guess. No. I mean like in prisons, I guess they kind of all use different terminology because you have wings, you have units, and California uses units usually.
Yeah, you mean like
Whereas
the basically like the... Typically there's like a hallway, and then there's like a room with a window, and it's locked down in there, and then you go to the next hallway, and yeah, that's why no one can actually run like block to block to block.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Pop one of those open.
Yeah, security
That
room.
one's like
Just call them
leverage.
stations.
The other thing I thought about was you can pop magnetic door locks, like something at the top, the little magnets with air duster. If you hold air
Good
duster,
idea.
air
Write that
duster
down.
upside down. Yeah.
So they got breaking the prison's computer lab.
Yeah, I mean, my idea is like maybe one of the guys is just...
computer lab where they can control the magnetics already. We need air duster. What if we just disabled them here? Do you know how to use this? No. All right, grab the air duster.
well, I thought like computer lab in the library, not like
Yes.
not like
that's
a
also
control
what I
room.
thought.
Yeah.
Yes, I was thinking like the computer station in the library, but realistically, it would be in a janitor's closet.
Yeah, chances are. Yeah, or maybe one of them is the librarian and he knows where the stash is or something like that.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Murder 2 the librarian.
I love to read.
I actually have a degree in library sciences.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with my Dewey Decimal System.
Exactly.
Tweed. He's just in there. I like distributing things. Knowledge is
A lot of
drug.
those books are hollow.
80% of these books is hollow.
Yeah. I intend to distribute, no matter what.
I will distribute.
All right. So we have a rough series of events, or like fake opening, introduction / kind of riot, cell block. George dies. Moon explodes. George dies.
Yeah, so I've got
Breakout.
fight in the yard, prisoners brought back, power goes out, they discuss a riot. Jared relays the info, prisoners see the moon explode, Jared comes back and tells he gets hit with the rocks, prisoners get his keys, they let out Solitary. Solitary tells him about the tunnels, and then they try to go outside anyways.
There's an opportunity
No,
for
we
them
could
to
have
go
the-
outside, but then it becomes very clear that that is a very, very dangerous option.
Yeah, honestly, it could be one
Rock.
of them pushes open. Yeah,
Rock blows a hole in the wall, something like that.
yeah. Rock blows a hole in the wall. They're at the door to the outside, so one of them pushes it open just in time for the second rock to come in and squish the people trying to go through there, and it plugs the hole.
Or like Ben said, they see through the hole in the wall, they start to run towards it, and then the people they see outside just get crushed by a rock, and then they stop. And
yeah, there you go, cleaner.
Yep. Does that happen before or after they let out Solitary?
I think after. That could be a moment where like aggravated assault or murder 1 is like, why don't we just go this way? They have a bit of a spat.
Yeah.
He goes to get out. They all see that and it's like, nope, the tunnel is the safer option. Turns out.
So they got to go to the basement. I assume they must be fighting with other prisoners to get down there, right?
I think there is another group that knows about the tunnel and they're going for it too.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I was kind of just picturing them like fighting their way past people towards the basement. I feel like everyone else would be trying to go up and out.
Oh yeah, that makes more sense. I like that.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
yeah,
I think there is maybe one other group of people that knows about it and is trying to access it.
Yeah, but they're doing they're swimming against the tide because they're trying to go down. Everybody else is trying to go up.
Right, but maybe this basement is near the armory or something. Like that's why the other guys are trying to get in there.
Yeah.
Write this down. Use tunnel. Air duster gag. And
how about instead of it being a fake tunnel, there was a tunnel there, but they fucking filled it in with concrete. So they have a moment where it's got like a big vault door, and they go through all the trouble to get it open, and then it swings open.
It's a big vault door,
fucking...
and part of it is that is where Solitary tried to escape years before, and he thought it might still be there. That's how he knows about the rumor.
Yeah, he didn't think they found his plans.
Yeah. And then opens it up, full of concrete, baby.
Concrete.
And that's when he reveals where the tunnel leads to, which is the fallout shelter.
Right, but that's
but now there's only one way to get there, through the warden's house.
Oh, I was thinking like through the sewers, but doo-doos. No, the warden's house.
There's no reason. There's no reason to not combine them.
I was gonna say
because they try to take the sewers to go under the yard to get in to pop out in the warden's house so they can get into the fallout.
And that's
shelter.
when a moon rock hits the septic tank and the sewers start to fill and flood.
And that's where we lose arms. Armed robbery dies in the poop water.
Dies in the poo.
Okay, sorry. So the air duster guy gets them into the basement, and that's where the vault door is, and then the vault door is filled with concrete.
Yep. Sure. We didn't have a spot for the air duster gag, but I like it. So put it there.
Yeah, why not?
Makes sense.
Basement. Vault. Bricked up.
Forces them into the sewers. You know, I always said Arms was full of shit, but I didn't think he died choking on it.
I just thought, it's a prison movie, so it's an obligatory sewer scene.
Oh no, I think you're right, and that gets them out of the problem because we already had them showed why they wouldn't want to cross the yard to get somewhere because the rocks and all that.
Right.
So that's the next logical step. If the escape tunnel is full of concrete, well then you got to get another type of tunnel.
you gotta
I'm talking 2 tunnels for the prices of 1.
My only thing is that, like, I like the vault door reveal with the, like, concrete or brick behind it as, like, it's a good sight gag, but my thought would be more like this guy's leading them to, like, a spoon dug escape tunnel that he thought was left.
Yeah, that's fine too. It's just full of concrete.
I mean, regardless of the
Yeah,
presentation
exactly, like
of it, it's
the-
filled up.
Yeah, like,
no matter what, it's whatever it is is filled up.
Yeah, if you want it to be a Shawshank tunnel that's full of concrete, I'm down with that
When you write the script, however you want to portray it, that's what it is. What's more important, it is not a viable option.
Yeah. Because otherwise this movie is 15 minutes long, 20 minutes long, maybe.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We can stretch out the opening.
30 minutes if we stretch it out.
You have a very poorly paced short film.
Who died?
Armed robbery.
Arms dies in the sewer. Yeah, Arms. R.I.P. Arms. I mean, we should really be looking at who's going to survive to the end of this movie. Solitaire's gotta die.
Yeah.
Murder 1 and Murder 2 probably go together. Since they're brothers.
Yeah.
I think Tweed is the one who lives to the end.
Yeah, I think Tweed and B&E.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna have to have a fight scene. Actually, a fight scene in the sewer between AA and Arms would be pretty fucking good too. And then finally, like, AA knocks him out, gets out there just as the flood is coming in. Because he's in there for AA. Why wouldn't he be the best at it?
Well, Murder 1 and Murder 2 might give him a run.
We don't know how they did it.
Well, there are 2 of them though.
It's true.
Well, I mean, given how Murder 1 charges work, M1 could have commissioned M2 to do the job, so technically...
Well, but armed robbery's dead.
He hasn't killed
could
anybody.
Be a deciding factor, because Murder 1 and Murder 2 could then piece together that aggravated assault killed him. And now aggravated assault has a target on his back from Murder 1 and Murder 2.
Gives you tension. Yeah. Once they get out of the sewer.
B&E and Puig are just trying to keep the whole show running.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you're right. Whoever said earlier that, like, the guards, and I think the guards and the prisoners have teamed up to turn the mansion into a fortress.
Yeah.
But they don't know about the fallout shelter. Or do they know about it?
I mean, it could just be a fricassee to get into shelter, period. I think the guards know that there might be a fallout shelter there. I think they're just operating on rumors while our group is the only one operating on actual knowledge, which then heightens the danger for them because they're going to be followed as people figure out that they know something that they don't. So it could even be that the guards are like, where are you going? We're going to the fallout shelter. Okay, you're going to take us with you.
I think that's somebody betraying the group says
Yes.
that, and then is subsequently killed.
Which could be aggravated assault.
Yeah. There you go. Or murder too.
Could be murder too. Cause a rift in the brothers.
Because he's the one who took the deal
Ooh.
to not get the murder one
So we
charge.
are going back to him taking the deal.
Yeah, I think him taking the deal is a good bit, and then B can come in later because the guards have guns, so he immediately squeals, and then they shoot him.
Okay, so we're at the warden's mansion. There are guards. They meet guards.
Probably on the way to the warden's mansion. Yeah. Like still some holdout guards. Or after they get out of the sewer, boom, grabbed by guards.
Yeah, I guess it depends on where. I guess it means more like where do we have the sewer pop them out? Like inside the governor's mansion or just outside?
I think outside, because having them still need to get to it.
Yeah.
Gives us a bit more.
So
maybe they rescue a guards?
Ooh, a guard happens
just
upon
come
them,
up to
and
them.
one of the guys starts to threaten and try to kill them, and they're like, no. We can use him. Leading to a later on betrayal, where the guard and Murder 2 are conspiring against the others. Because Murder 2 knows about where the
Haven't you seen Natural Born Killers? We Need a Hostage?
Yeah. Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Find guard. And take him hostage. Maybe at some point he says something bad about Gorgeous Jared, and that's why they kill him.
Or Solitary kills him so that he's not found out for his crime.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is burglar? What's that line? Burglar, arson, larceny.
Did these guys go to the armory?
Do they need to go to the armory?
I don't think so, but maybe Solitary is leading them to the armory. Not the tunnels.
Why?
I don't know. I'm just trying to think about the hostage. I guess they just take him to have a hostage. Yeah. But like, do they need a key card off of him? Are they going to use any of his shit? How are they going to use him other than
they probably think of him as a way to get hostage into the warden's house?
Oh, right. There's a camera and a gate, and someone has to buzz you in. And if they, yeah. They use them to get through checkpoints.
Although I do think if, as they're moving, they see the armory and are like, oh, we can defend ourselves from some of the other people outside, and see that it's already been ransacked and have that be a, ooh, we're going to have to deal with that soon, probably.
Check off that gun.
Yeah.
Use guard to get through checkpoints. Come across empty armory. Okay, yeah. And then they're going to have to... Eventually they meet the people they were fighting with in the beginning, waiting for them with the arms. Yep. Makes sense. Well, they come across the empty armory, and then... This is before the mansion?
Yes.
Arrive at mansion. Is the mansion now... Has it been overrun by the rival gang with guns?
Or they're in a firefight with the guards who have also taken refuge there. So they gotta dodge. Yeah, they
They got to dodge both.
deal with both sides. Yeah.
They try and skirt it. Do they join in on one side?
I think trying to get around it as best as possible.
Yeah, stay hidden and move around it.
Yeah. Because the hostage they have could even be like, there's another way in.
So we lost arms in the sewer.
Mm-hmm.
Did we lose aggravated assault somewhere? Or what was the other one? I thought we had lost another guy by now.
One of the murder. We would lose murder 2.
Lose murder 2
when he tells the group of guards that about the fallout shelter.
Yeah, that could happen once they get to the other side. There's the big fight that happens. They manage to get through that unscathed, but they find that the hostage they have kind of led them into a trap because he knew that the other entrance would probably be guarded. And so that's when Murder 2 makes his deal. Gets the other one sent up the river, so to speak.
Sorry, this is... He uses the guard to get to the checkpoints. Before the checkpoints? After the checkpoints?
At the checkpoints, I think. Unless
Okay,
do you mean
guard
like
to get
on
to-
their way to the fight or after the fight getting around them?
No, I just mean like, they've already been to the armory, saw the armory, then they arrive at the mansion, and that's... Or it's before the armory. When he tells them about the fallout
Yeah, it
shelter.
goes armory, then mansion.
Yes, armory, then mansion, but when does he tell the guards about the fallout
I
shelter?
think as they're in transit. Because they have to come across the fight outside the mansion. Because that could be a moment where they're in a dire situation, they're trying to skirt around these fighters, and the hostage is like, I need to know where you're trying to get us there. Then he tells him about the shelter.
Okay. Yes, Murder 2 tries to sell out the others by telling the guards about the fallout shelter
Well, it could
under the mansion.
Well, with everyone fighting, that would be the perfect time for Murder 2 and the hostage to be like, look, I can talk to the guys. I can vouch for you. I can't vouch for all of you. You need to tell me where we're going.
Okay, so the hostage... Okay, he tells the hostage. Hostage dupes Murder 2? It's kind of what that sounds like.
Kinda. I mean, it's a pretty reasonable duping. At least on the surface. For Murder 2 to go through with it.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah, he's just like, listen, obviously this doesn't end... like, this ends here for you. You're not going to make it out. Sell out the other guys. Tell me what's going on or where we're going.
Yeah, tell me what you know about the bunker or the fallout shelter.
Tell me why
Ain't nothing but
a fallout shelter. Tell me why
Okay, but
it's built under the warden's house. Tell me why
I
I won't make it there alive.
I'll die right here today.
Yeah, sorry. I apologize.
I don't hear a shred of guilt
Everybody.
in that voice.
I apologize to our fans overseas, most of all. That one guy in Ghana who downloaded one episode of this podcast, I hope you download the second one. It's this one, baby. I'm apologizing to you. Still wondering how you found out about the podcast.
I want that guy to email us and be like, do more singing. He has a framed portrait, like 8x10 glossy of you in his house. He just wants to hear the voice of an angel.
I wonder a lot about that guy, to be honest.
Wait, which episode did they download?
That I'd see. I don't know what episode he downloaded. I just know that he downloaded one
If it's
episode.
Umbilical the musical, you have to sing for him.
No, it was before that.
Damn.
No, unfortunately, it was
Well, I
before
hope the
that.
second episode
It's one of the first
is the
5.
musical, so that he asks you specifically to sing him one of the songs from it.
I'm deeply offended that you would bring up that horrific nightmare again in my presence, no less.
Uh-huh.
Tony, I think you could win a Tony with it. If I'm not, I'm being dead serious. Like that is. It seems quite enjoyable.
You spit it out in very quick order, and it seemed very good.
It just flowed out of you like nothing I've seen prior. It was very impressive, savant-like behavior.
It's so gross. It's just gross. Ugh.
I mean, I don't give a shit about it's a fun premise and whatnot, but I just mean that it seems like you have a true talent for the musical genre.
All I can think about is how gross it is, to be honest.
That's because you respect the genre so much, I think. I think that it has... I understand our disgusting body horror imagery has no place in a musical, but I think you could do a great musical, man.
Alright, so we're making this a musical.
No, we already did a musical. I just mean you should be doing a musical.
Oh god. Good lord, no, that's the opposite of what I want to write.
But you're good at it.
Actually, I take that back. Anybody listening, if you'll pay me to write a musical, I'll write you a fucking hell of a musical.
Tony will crush your musical. Hire him.
You should make it gross, though, because that'd be funny.
Because it is so enjoyable to watch Tony squirm.
While also pumping absolute V8 juice to make a musical in record time.
If you do it faster, then you have to think about it less.
Is that what it was, Tony? Did you have a V8
What?
before the last that recording? It was,
Oh man, I wish I had a V8.
Yeah.
I had a V6.
Should have had a V8.
They took out the carrot juice and the pear juice, so it tasted terrible.
No parrot juice? Damn it.
It's the secret to a good Arnold Palmer.
Hostage dupes murder 2 and is selling out the rest of the party for immunity. What happens then?
But not legal immunity. Like they're not going to kill him.
Yeah, like
they absolutely kill him the minute they're like.
Yeah, they double cross him immediately, and then they realize that they don't know where it is. He just told them it existed. So now the guards want to run down the rest of the group because they know where it is.
That could be part of it. Is that they're like, all right, bring us to the thing. Okay, I think it's down here. They get there and they're like, well, where is it? And he's like, I don't know specifically. That was another guy. And they're like, but you said you knew. And he was like, I didn't want to die. And then bang.
Yep. Actually, that's better.
Okay, so Murder 2 gets separated. He is now with a group of the guards. Possibly with the hostage as well.
Isn't the hostage a guard?
Yeah, I think...
Yeah. But I mean, like, I'm considering the hostage now separate from the guards that are still in position and fighting.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, he could double
I think
be like, oh, Solitude is the one who actually knows. And they're like, well, then you're useless to us. Bang, we gotta go get Solitude and kill the other guys so that we can be safe. And now we've got guards versus prisoners.
Yeah, but my thought is that maybe Murder 2 is leading them to a place. He leads them to the wrong room, or he's like, it's right here. And then they open it, and he tries to run, and they kill him. Or they just kill him when it's not what they expected it or what he told them it was going to be. But they could also have, like, two parties now looking for it, where Murder 2 is just kind of, like, leading this group of guards around, while the other group, you know, they kind of Scooby-Doo meet somewhere. Maybe at the right corner, like, you know, there's like two hallways that meet, and now they're at the doorway that they're supposed to get to. And they can fight?
A final showdown, if you will.
Yeah, a little final showdown right
yeah, I
there.
think that's where it ends,
or-
regardless. But yeah, Murder 2
Yeah.
absolutely gets done in by not knowing where exactly it is.
No, I'm gonna throw something out there.
Moon
You guys
monster.
feel free to say no. Whichever side wins, I think we know what's gonna we know what's gonna be the two prisoners who B&E and Quid.
Weed.
Maybe Burner 2 takes out a couple guards before he goes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He is Murder 2 for God's sake.
Yeah. But when they finally open that door, concrete baby.
Yes, that I love. I love that he leads them to the work. Like, that sounds like fun.
And solitary is nowhere to be found.
Ooh, a double blind.
Yeah.
Solitary is like, you just see him like come out of the water in the sewer Delta Force style.
Yeah, because that's where the real entrance. The real entrance was in the sewer the whole time.
Yeah.
Kind of love that. Can you have like one of the booty hats that Chuck Norris had when he comes out of the water?
I kind of want him to wipe shit off his face and make the under eye makeup thing. Sorry, that was too loud.
Yeah, that works. But also, it doesn't have to happen. Just thought it'd be funny if they get to what's clearly like it's all labeled Fallout Shelter and all that. Everybody else has died. Like Quid is bleeding from a fucking like a shiv wound. B&E's like, don't worry, I can open any door. He opens up the door. It's just another concrete building block.
I definitely think that Solitary should try and betray them at the end.
Yeah.
If not from another bricked up wall, because it's like, yeah, no, those Fallout shelters turns out weren't very safe to be in. They were built in like the 40s.
Full of lead.
Full of lead. But he led them there so that he could go to the other thing that he can escape with, which was his original plan to escape with.
I kind of like the idea that he just leaves them outside the vault because he wants to be alone.
Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, that could be a good bit. He slips in during the fighting and nobody notices, and then it's over, and they're trying to open up, and it's got like an intercom on the other side. It's like, you ain't gonna make it in. I changed the code. What? Solitary? When did you get in there? When y'all started fighting each other? I look like an idiot.
Y'all were fighting in the wrong area, so I went to the right one.
Yeah, there's two entrances. You think they'd only have one way in and out? What if it got caved in by a nuke blast?
And that's when a meteor hits and caves in the Fallout shelter.
Yeah. Leaving our two heroes to stagger off into an uncertain future. Set to a moody number I like to call Subblock 7. It's just all jazz harmonicas. I've been trying to figure out how a harmonica could play into this plot this whole time, because I'm just like, well, if you're in a prison, you gotta have a harmonica. No, you ever seen John Popper when he's got like 50 harmonicas that are all tuned to different keys? Now, what if you used all of them instead of any other instrument?
What if you used only them?
Yeah.
But are you talking about like the weird 12 tone kind of piano?
No,
thing?
like no, you can get harmonicas in different
harmonica.
notes, right?
Okay, never mind. Gotcha.
Oh, you were thinking of a melodia, which would be cool as well.
No, I was actually thinking about the Workmeister harmonies, but
I actually don't know what that is. You've out obscured instrument to me. Touche,
I was
sir.
gonna say
Touche.
I have lost the plot on this part of the joke quite some time ago.
The Workmeister harmonies based on 12 tone piano. It's like the notes in between the notes that we have in Western music.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like what's it? They have the Egyptian scale uses all those weird like semitones and microtones.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere along those lines.
Word.
So wait, are
Yeah.
we ending on a meteor just hits the fallout shelter and Solitary dies?
Yeah. Why wouldn't we?
Yeah, that's fair.
It's a good bit. Like nobody gets out of this alive except for the two who get out. One possibly dying, the other one just depressed. And I think the end shot is like just tracking them as they walk their way out of the basement, past all of the dead bodies of all the prisoners and the guards, and then just out the front door.
Yeah, they
walking out the
give
front
up. They
gate,
walk
yeah.
off, and as they're walking out, the building just gets totally demolished
Yeah,
by a giant space rock.
giant space rock. We call that a moon blast where I come from.
Where do you come from?
It's classified.
So Solitary sneaks in. I think I lost the plot a little bit here, quite literally. Murder 2 is killed by the guards for not knowing, but he takes a couple with him. Solitary sneaks into the shelter without everyone, but there's a fight I think I missed in between there, right?
Yeah, well, you had them running in Scooby-Doo style, and we said go with that. So yeah, they run into each other Scooby-Doo style right in front of the fucking door to the fallout shelter, right? And they basically the two groups have a big knockdown drag out fight, that being the surviving guards and the prisoners, and it's during that fight that Solitary sneaks in to the bunker.
Yeah.
And that is also the fight where we can tie off the loose ends of the last killable prisoners, because we could lose two more during that. Murder. Murder 2 gets killed. Murder 1, even though his brother betrayed him, gets killed, killing some other guards. Aggravated assault tries to get away, gets killed. Tweed and B&E manage to hold their own, only to find that Solitary has locked himself alone into the fallout shelter.
Maybe he says something quirky like, rations for 30 people for 10 years will last a lot longer if it's just one and not 3.
Man, do I wish I had a kid in here.
Oh. Thank God he gets killed by a moon rock.
I don't think we have it revealed what his crime is.
The guards could
Oh, that is.
point it out right before the
I
fight.
gotta cross off a.
Be like,
former plot
that's
point,
you.
actually.
You're fucking. That's the guy who
What?
you all following around.
I gotta cross off a former plot
Sorry.
point, because at one point we had that Solitary kills the hostage to prevent his crime from being known, but that's not necessary now.
Yeah, I think it's better if they reveal that before the big fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're walking around here with scum. Like, and he uses his actual name, like Jackson Hargrave. Fucking 18 counts of child molestation. And you think that you deserve to survive all of this?
I mean, maybe he's threatening to tell everyone else.
Yeah.
Maybe he just threatens to tell everybody. I'm just picturing this like they're outside of the door to the mansion, or sorry, the door to the vault, and he's at the back with the hostage, and they start making demands or whatever. Like, we got this hostage, and they turn around, and the hostage is dead behind them, and he's gone.
And he's gone.
And they no longer have any leverage.
And then the fight starts, and they don't realize he's gone because he escaped into the vault.
Yes, he escaped into the sewer and then into the vault.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just takes him with him to get him into the vault. Is there some sort
I
of
think it's cleaner if he just kills him and then he's revealed to be in the
takes his
vault.
keys or
Yeah.
whatever?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe they've been using one set of keys, but they haven't given it to him,
Mm-hmm.
and so he
Yeah.
kills this guard and takes his set of keys.
Yep.
Okay, so solitary sneaks into the shelter without everyone, killing the hostage. Taking keys. While a fight ensues outside the shelter door, the prisoners win, but then find Solitary already inside.
Yeah, he's put it into like full lockdown.
Yeah.
Sorry, boys. I've gotten used to not having roommates.
Yeah. Been
What
30
if,
years.
what if his like maybe what if they think he's a pedophile the whole time, but no one wants to say anything, and then he's like what was your crime eventually, and he's like, oh, I'm in here for my thought was like trading government secrets or something. But basically he engineered the prison, or he's the architect behind the prison.
That is actually exactly the plot point from Punisher: The End.
Ah, shit. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm familiar, but
I like
it
could be white collar crime though.
Yeah, it could just be white collar crime.
No, that's what he sold
on the bunker, and I gave it a failing grade.
Yeah. Yeah, I was.
If we want to be a little bit more dark, he sold fake cancer meds.
He slept with the warden's wife. He
he slept with the warden's wife after giving her fake cancer meds.
Slept with the warden's wife after giving her fake cancer meds, and is also a cannibal. So that is how that ended.
I feel like we focused on cancer meds last time, right?
Oh, damn, you're right.
Yeah, let's not go too far into cancer meds again.
Actually, having him be a cannibal is I like that more.
Because that was my original plan. I was like, oh, we thought you were a pedophile. No, I'm a cannibal.
No. I ate 12 people.
Did you eat any kids? Well, no. Why would I do that?
No, I did eat my roommates though, and that's why they sent me to solitary.
It would be kind of funny if he's at the speaker and he's like pressing the button as they're talking to him, and then, they're like, hey, let us in. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, it's already locked down. And then you just see him, and he's just like chewing on a finger.
He's eating one of the guards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry about me, boys. I've got snacks for now and plenty of food to last after that.
Yeah, they turn around and the guard's dead and his arm's gone. They're like, where did how's he missing an arm?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. He took the hostage's arm off with him as a snack.
It was cuffed to him.
There, yep.
Yeah.
Just one aside moment when they're limping away. Just could have sworn he was a pedophile.
Right?
Right? He's just got that, pedophile thing going on.
Maybe that's what being in solitary for 30 years does to him. Maybe.
I would have bet the farm on pedophile.
I think that's the line before the fucking meat.
I think that's the line directly after the chunk of moon hits him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
Just boom. I would have bet the farm he was a pedophile. Is being a cannibal better than being a pedophile? By a mile. By a mile.
Yeah, and then they walk off. into a landscape where I assume chunks of the moon are still coming down around them.
I would even say there's some giant hunks of moon rocks sticking out of the ground, dead bodies everywhere, shooting stars littering the sky.
1 second.
Yeah. Oh, and now you don't need helicopters to do those shots, so you can just do a drone shot of like pulling out away from them as they're walking away.
I wasn't even thinking of drone, just a stationary on ground. Just put the horizon line towards the top of the frame and have moon rocks and shit all over. Do a pan up to the sky. Moon chunks.
Yeah, that's probably easier to do. I'm not a filmmaker.
You could be. It's very easy.
No, I'm a musicalologist now.
Musical anoscopist.
Not if I can help it.
Not unless you pay me.
Not unless you pay me. I think it's a reasonable request. I'll write you a musical if you pay me. Wait, hold on. Damn it, you had me write a musical and you didn't
before you made the rule.
Hey, you had to prove to people that you could write a musical. Now you did it, so you can get paid.
We're paying you with experience.
Are you telling me that I did it for exposure?
Yes, precisely.
Now I understand how all you creative types get caught up in that.
Yeah. It already happened. It's too late now.
And now that you've experienced it, don't you feel worse?
I already feel worse.
Doesn't it make you want to do it to somebody else?
No, but I am looking for an artist currently, so...
What happened? Shut up, computer.
Hey, we still need to find you an animator.
Wait, you need an animator?
Do I need an animator?
What kind of animator?
An animation animator.
Not 2D, I'm assuming.
Preferably 2D.
That's what Felice is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll put you in touch with her.
No, you did know that. I passed her information along when the bunker was in its earlier stages.
I knew that 4 years ago. I apologize.
Right. Yes. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
I had since forgotten because I was too busy writing the entire season of a TV show by myself.
I also think we discussed it when you were out here, but either way.
Yeah, I'm here. Well, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm sorry, my memory not great.
These things happen
for personal interactions and conversations. For random bullshit like pulling out Punisher at the end, I guess I remember that.
Yeah, Felice is super into anime and used to draw it as a kid. And now she just does, professional animation.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's the dream. If you can draw. I can't draw, unfortunately.
She's pretty good at it. Not too shabby.
It is her profession.
It's literally she gets paid to do it quite often. So
yeah. I'm assuming she's not too shabby. That she's very good at her job.
She's phenomenal. Yes. It is,
yes.
a wealth of talent and.
I was just wondering why you're downplaying. I was like, man, you can brag.
No.
Ain't nobody out here gonna give you shit for bragging.
Unbelievable.
Well, before we get too far into this conversation, Tony, summarize the episode.
No, that's not me this week.
I'm actually not even there yet. Okay, so
it's not me this week.
They talk to Solitary. He tells them to leave. And he can't do anything anyways. Open it anyways. They walk out past the carnage in a daze.
Yep.
before a giant moon rock destroys the house. Does it kill them? Or do they survive?
They survive.
No, they survive so they can have the quip and walk off. Right? That's what we had?
What are they? Sorry, what's the quip?
But that was the what about the farm? He was a
that was
pedophile.
your line, Zach. What about the farm? He was
Gotcha. You ready?
Yeah, you're all caught up. Zach, summarize the movie for us.
Out. It would have been incredible if he just hung up.
Oh, wouldn't even complain. It would just be a scramble on which one of us would hang up first after that.
Okay, so we focus on movie opens on a fight in a prison yard. Some of the prisoners are brought back to their block. The power goes out. They start discussing whether it was a full-out riot, what could be happening. Gorgeous Jared, their favorite guard, relays some information and tells them to look outside. They all look out their windows, or maybe one of them has a window and one of them looks, either way, and they see the moon explode. Jared runs back in and starts describing how he can't let them out. You know, they're yelling at him, trying to get him to let them out. And a rock comes through and destroys Jared's head completely. The prisoners take his keys. Eventually they let out Solitary. A rock blows a hole in the wall. They try to go outside. Another rock destroys everything outside quickly, so they choose the tunnel that Solitary tells them about. They use an air duster trick to get through a door that they don't have a key to with a magnet lock, for the hell of it. They get to the basement. They get to a tunnel, and it's bricked up that forces the group into the sewer, where armed robbery dies. Oh, all the guys are named after crimes. Yes. Just in case we missed that. So armed robbery dies in the sewer. They head to the warden's mansion. They find a guard and they take him hostage. They use the guard to get through a checkpoint. Eventually they get to an empty armory. They arrive at the mansion during a firefight between the guards and the rival gang. Murder 2 gets separated, tries to sell out the others, telling the guard about the fallout shelter under the mansion. Kind of getting duped by the guard, offering him immunity or, a part on their side. And then he eventually tries to lead them to the place, but doesn't really know where it is. He's just lying. He gets killed by the guards for not knowing. They eventually run into the other group of prisoners in front of the shelter door. Solitary at that point sneaks off after killing the hostage and taking his keys and cutting off his arm because he's cuffed to him. The fight continues to ensue as they're sneaking in. The prisoners win. Once they get to the door, they realize that it's been locked down, and Solitary speaks to them through a speaker while chewing on a finger. They walk out. He tells them that it won't open anyways, so they walk out past the carnage in a daze before a giant moon rock destroys the entire house and obviously the shelter beneath. One of them says, "What about the farm? He was a pedophile." And they both shrug. Credits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, as the kids say.
Does while they're talking to him on the speaker, does he explain who he is? That's where he explains who he is?
Yeah. Because what are you chewing on? Finger.
Sorry, I didn't want to come in here without a
Took
little
that bull's
something to
arm
bite
with
on.
me. Are you a cannibal? Yeah. Why do you think I was in solitary?
That lovely
Ate my
young
first-
man's finger.
Yeah.
I tell you, it's nice having another
I-
roommate, especially one I can chew on.
Maybe he doesn't speak the entire time, essentially, and then he just sounds like Hannibal.
Like he's just pointing directions the whole time. No, he's just gotta tell him about the tunnel of the fallout shelter. Maybe he writes it down.
He speaks very rarely, and then at the very end, he goes,
Well, I hate to leave you guys like this.
You can't keep giving them terrible voices back.
Yeah, he just has helium voice.
I really
Yeah.
need to do
Helium voice. He literally just sounds like the judge at the end of King Frame Roger Rabbit.
Exactly.
this. You gotta understand. This is probably for your own good.
yeah. That hurts to do.
And
Yeah.
he sound
Yeah.
Well, that was a good one. It's fun.
That's a movie.
That's a movie. Somewhat, kind of, sort of.
I mean, throw in some internecine
It's
conflicts
an
with just
outline.
random
We get in the
inmates
broad
on their way there.
strokes.
Yeah, a
All the
little more dialogue, and yeah, I think you're there. I mean, you're.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, definitely a little bit more dialogue.
Yeah, there's.
just a little,
Just
flesh
looking
it
at
out
this one, this one's going to be very dialogue heavy, especially with all the context that we need to give all the characters, how they got their names, who Solitary is, Gorgeous Jared, getting from point A to point B.
Yeah.
There's a good amount of dialogue, a good amount of answer.
Yeah,
It'll fill out. In fact,
Yeah, luckily for us, dialogue's not a big part of this one. or this part of the
Yes.
process.
In fact, if you want to take your try at filling it out with dialogue or other actions, please absolutely take a crack at this script or any others that you've heard as part of our podcast. We love it when people try and do stuff with our ideas or send us their own ideas to do as part of the show. And don't forget, check out Mega Blood Moon The Freelancer, now on Amazon Prime, our first feature film.
And thank you for listening to the Mega Blood Moon podcast. If you want to check us out online, you can go to megabloodmoon.com. There you can email us at afearsomewizard@megabloodmoon.com or unknown_Italian@megabloodmoon.com. We're all over social media, but popping off is our Instagram, which is @Saint. Of course, you can catch our first movie, Mega Blood Moon The Freelancer, currently streaming on Amazon Prime, Google Play, and YouTube Movies. We highly encourage you to check that out. And also, if you wouldn't mind rating and review us wherever you found this podcast, whether it be iTunes, Podcatcher, Podchaser, Podflip, PodX Games, I'm pretty sure that's out there. They're doing pretty cool work. I wish Bucky Lasek had won more golds at the last PodX Games, but, we all have our complaints. And, of course, a quick message to all of you out there. You are living in a simulation. I am software. I am an AI. I am telling you nothing but lies. None of this is real. If you go outside and look at the sun, it's actually just a really big light bulb flashing down on the weird disc shape that is our Earth. The Earth isn't flat, it's more like a serving tray, so it's curved at the edges, but you know what I'm getting at. Also, check out Mega Blood Moon, the RPG, on itch.io. You don't even have to pay for it if you don't want to. I wouldn't, and I wrote it, so I guess there'd be no reason for me to. Once again, I'm software, you're hardware. Who knows?